Hey guys, you're back here at Gold's Gym with me, and the last video that I posted, triceps, biceps and forearms, you followed me around this very gym, having a look at my exact workout set for set. One thing I wanted to do for this video is focus on addressing just one particular question. And after seeing a lot of comments that you guys are posting, a lot of muscle groups that are coming up quite frequently are the posterior deltoid, the rear deltoid. So today I want to share just 3 exercises that I think are really great at specifically targeting this. And if you're not too sure what I'm talking about, the deltoid, my conditioning isn't as great, but the shoulder has sort of 3 muscle heads. You've got the anterior, the lateral or medial delt, and then this muscle group around here, which is really my focus point now, is the posterior. This is especially important if you're looking at doing stage, you want to have that nice kind of V-taper, or really just a well-balanced, strong shoulder girdle and get that tight waist. So we're going to look at 3 exercises, all of which specifically are going to focus on that rear deltoid. The seated military press is a common exercise when training shoulders, but usually people perform this in front of their head like that, which puts a lot more load on the anterior, the front deltoid. What we're doing here is positioning the bar behind the back of the head, so a lot more stress stays on that rear deltoid. I know a lot of people might not feel comfortable performing it with the barbell, and if that's the case, try it on a Smith machine first so it can fix you in that fixed range of motion. All we're doing here is lowering the bar down to about the top of our ears, not all the way down to our neck. You don't want to put too much strain and tension on those back muscles too. We just want to put the load on the shoulders. So by bringing it down to the top of our ears, behind our head, all of that load is still on the rear deltoid as opposed to the intersection of the back. Just keep the elbows pulled back, full extension up at the top. And I know it's hard, but try and focus on squeezing. Identify the rear deltoids in that movement and contract them. It takes a little bit of time getting used to. Great exercise early on. 3 sets here. Go as heavy as you can comfortably for 10, 12 reps. If you need to, have a spotter there to help just assist you. Also make sure that you fully warmed up the shoulders before starting your routine. And for this, I usually do just a few minutes on the rower or the vertical rope trainer, followed by just a couple of sets of the exercises that I'm going to be performing, just with lighter weights and high repetitions, 15, 20. That way I can really mobilize and warm up my shoulder joint before then starting with some heavier weights. But great first exercise for our rear deltoid trio today. Now, rear deltoid flies might be a common exercise in shoulders as well, but typically we perform those standing like this. By supporting yourself on an incline bench, you might not be as strong, it's a more restricted movement, but you're really able to focus on all that movement originating from that rear deltoid to raise the arm. So 2 variations here. The first one being pronated on an incline bench, not too high up, it's only about 2 clicks up from the bottom. So by keeping the elbows fixed like this, more of that work is then being loaded onto the rear deltoid. I'm trying to get the weight up as high as I can without just bouncing the weight. So if you can't raise the arms up too high, drop the weight down, go a little bit higher. It will pay dividends as far as posterior deltoid development. Second tip with this one, you'll see that I'm covering a few different angles. I'm not just sticking to arms open and back down. I'm coming behind me, to the side and out in front. And that's simply because of the range of motion that rear deltoid plays. It doesn't just raise the arm up like this, it works it from a variety of different angles. And as far as origins of the deltoids, even though there's 3 main heads, there's more like 7 different insertions, 2 of which come from the posterior, 2 from that lateral, and actually 3 from the front, the anterior. Hence why of its involvement in a lot more exercises. So when training the rear deltoids, work through a variety of different angles, don't just stick to that same range of motion. The second variation here, I'm going sideways, isolating an arm. You can perform this single arm as well for that lateral. But one thing I like to do is bring that arm up in front. You really don't need too much weight, and although it does work the rotator cuff somewhat, you definitely feel it on the posterior deltoid. So Give that a go, throw it in at the end of a couple of rear deltoid sets, whether you do it standing or with a bench, but whatever you do, isolate that the rear muscle and focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. Love it. All right, let's keep moving, have a look at exercise number 3. For this exercise, I'm using the opposite direction of a pec deck, or some of them allow you to perform a rear deltoid fly on by adjusting the arms. This, as opposed to the dumbbell variation, keeps you in that fixed range of motion, so you don't have to worry about supporting the weight or whether you're in the right area. With this one, you can just isolate, target that rear deltoid. Don't go too heavy. Keep the elbows angled up like this so that the arms aren't down. You're trying to do this movement, you have the elbow angled outwards, therefore you have more strength to push back, and really what you're doing is using this muscle here to pull the whole arm back. So if you're having to do this, too much bicep involvement, this should be the movement. Second variation is isolating it even one step further by performing it kind of seated this way. You get a real nice stretch in that rear deltoid there, and then a greater range of motion than if performing two arms at the same time. So with all 3 of these exercises, we're looking at full range of motion. We're looking at keeping the arm pretty fixed so that it's just that posterior deltoid having to contract and lengthen to move the arm. And we've looked at free weights, dumbbells, a machine, and just equally as important up there, cables as well, with the cable rear delt fly, or even a single arm cable pull through. All of these movements basically hold the arm in that fixed position, and it's bringing the shoulder blades together so that our focus is on the posterior deltoid. All right, so workout done. A little bit on post-workout, so I want to share with you the 3 products that I kind of mixed together following my post-workout, which I have literally immediately following my workout, and then I'll eat again a smaller meal probably about an hour after this. So what this consists of, protein, some post-workout carbs and creatine. So Soto carb, the new protein, so pea protein, so no milk, no sugars either, and it just makes me feel like I'm digesting it better instead of a milk protein. So real simple to mix together. I don't want to take too much of this. It's a maltodextrin, kind of like waxy maize starch, so just 2 scoops of that. Protein, I don't need a whole lot because I'm going to eat again. I just want to keep that protein turnover high. So 1 scoop, it's about 21 grams of protein. And then creatine, pretty much have this on and off every other month. So about 10 grams in there. Any more than this, I feel like I'm overloading my body with too much protein or too much calories in general. So really no more than 40-50 grams of carbs for me, about 20 grams of protein, 10 grams of creatine, that's all I need. Like I said, I'll eat no later than an hour after. Therefore, I'm getting some fast-acting, quick nutrition into my body, followed by some food that my body can digest, break down, and absorb. Easy. Hi guys, hope you found this video informative. Subscribe, like, comment. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I kind of bounce back and forth from my full workouts to addressing 1 or 2 questions and looking at a particular muscle group. So if you like that theme, let me know, comment on the video, hit me up on Twitter, my Instagram, RobRichardsFitness, let me know, and we'll keep this going. All right, I'm gonna drink this now. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Slurry, sorry.